Hi, this is Kate McWilliams of Unprofitable Instruments, and this video is to describe one of my new instruments. This is a Vielle I'm just finishing up right now. It has 5 strings and it's very adaptable. It can be played on the leg, can be played on the arm, can be played with a number of different tunings, a different curvature of the bridge, and I just wanted to demonstrate some of those things so you can hear how they compare. This is tuned in A's and D's at high pitch. It has 5 strings. The bottom 2 strings are in unison, and then it's fourths and fifths up from there. And I'm going to play one of the estampes, the beginning of one of the medieval dances. And first I'm going to play it 1 string at a time, and then I'll play it with multiple strings at a time. So Vielle, depending on how curvy the bridge is, you can either play 1 note at a time, or you can get 2 or 3 notes at a time. So this is just to give you an idea of how that sounds on this instrument. And on the arm. And there you have it. So as I'm playing 1 string at a time, I can do it. I feel fairly restrained and careful. It is a brand new instrument. I'm getting used to it myself. And I think it has a sweet sound and a soft sound, but I can't really let loose with it because I'm pretty careful about not hitting the other strings. But when I do let loose and allow myself to hit the other strings, they're all right, because it's all A's and D's. It's all in the mode that I'm playing in, and so you can't hit a wrong note. It's just really relaxing and nice to be able to have that possibility. Of course, it depends on the music that you want. Are you playing monophonic or polyphonic? Again, in monophonic music, if you have a recorder playing the tune and you're just here playing the tune in the bed of drones, it's really, really rewarding that way. Couple other things about it. So the way it's tuned, this little string at the bottom, it's called a bourdon string. On the arm, you can pluck it. I did just a little bit of that in the demonstration I just did. On the leg, it's a little harder to pluck, just because where your thumb is when you're playing down. You can bow it, and the neat thing about having the bottom 2 strings in unison is that you can play an octave against that bottom drone. So I can play and then roll to the next strings. So you can get a whole octave against a 1 drone pitch, which is quite nice. Tuning, again, when a customer comes to me wanting a Vielle, I ask first, how do you want to tune? How do you want it pitched? Top strings, I use only gut strings from Gamut. So there's with gut strings, you have a very different tone quality between the top string and the bottom is not as equal, say, as a violin. You expect the same kind of quality of sound throughout the instrument. So vielles will be different that way. Top strings you want to be as tight as you can without breaking. That's generally where they give their best sound. So that's a balance of, again, you don't want it to break, and you don't want it to be too thin because then it will break too often. So what kind of diameter do you get on the top string? And then given that, at your bottom pitch, how thick is that? Because the thicker the gut string, the harder it is to get them to speak. So this one is actually working pretty well. It has a 2-octave range between the top and the bottom. No, it doesn't. It has an octave and a half. Some of the Vielle tunings have a 2-octave, and that makes it even lower. So reasonable speaking power on the bottom string. Again, it's possible to play every string individually. This can also be retuned, so this one is strung so the top 2 strings stay the same, but the then bottom 2 strings can be dropped a whole step to fifths. So now it's a Vielle tuned in fifths, C, G, D, A. I would retune that one too if I was going to play it play it for a while. Again, it's going to be a little bit harder to get a clean pitch out of the bottom string because now the tension is less. But if you're looking for a bed of drones and the sound, just that low pitch sound, it's there. And you can have the middle strings. I can choose diameters of these bottom strings that will work at both pitches, so it's easy to switch that way. So those are a few things about the Lisle instrument. Feel free to write and ask questions if you have other questions. Thank you.